Hi Gemini. So I have a reading for you guys today. So this is from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot. We have the Ace. Pulled these last night, now there's dust on it. We have the Ace of Water right here. Ace of Water. Okay. And on the bottom we have emotion and intellect. This is technically the 11 of water in this deck. Okay. And then we have the Two of Cups from the Mary L. Tarot. I love this card. And on the bottom, we have the Seven of Wands, the White Wolf. I believe that these two cards came out in the exact opposite positions in the Scorpio reading. So completely shuffled around in the deck and on the other side. So we're going to see what this all means. Okay. And your messages are gauges, siren, workaholics, and witches. Or just witch. I said witches though. Okay, so yeah, you have 4 messages and there's 4 cards here. So I just like aligned the messages with the cards. Just this kind of feels like how the energy wanted to come out. Okay, so first off, I was gonna say there's a lot of water going on here. There's a lot of blue here. And then the Two of Cups is also a very watery card, but it's the horses in this deck, in the Mary L deck. But yeah, right here, look at all that blue. And that looks like him right here, right there. And almost like this energy is now up here. So, new emotional expression. New emotional truth. Yeah, let's kind of keep that light for a second. And this is the balance between the heart and the mind, the emotions and the intellect. Using it differently. So he's right here. So this is the Ace of Water. At least how it's coming through right now. And this is like, you could even say like an Ace of Swords. But we're going to play with the energy and see what that might be. The intellect is air. Okay, and then we have the Two of Cups here with the horses. So the horses, it's super symbolic in my life. To me, it just represents like the third option. Like there's always a third option between like 2 points. You could even say like 2 people having 2 different perspectives or truths or wants. And you can always find a third option in something. That's what the horses symbolize to me. Very much like my relationship energy. It actually came through last year for me in a super powerful way. I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with that, but it just came through as the third option being able to have like monogamous commitment within a relationship, as well as absolute freedom and trust. That's what the horses symbolize to me. We're going to see where that goes. Well, okay. Then we have the Seven of Wands here. The White Wolf. Leadership. This is also the Seven of Wands card. And this can be standing your ground very much when you have a truth and not letting other people persuade you differently. Like standing up for your torch, like holding your torch high, not letting people snuff it out simply because they don't understand or because they're confused or they're afraid. It can mean other things, but since it's the white wolf here, that's very much what it resembles to me, very much how it feels. Like an alpha standing its ground. Okay. So with emotion and intellect, we have gauges right underneath it. And the first thing I think of is like ear gauges. But gauges, gauging something. Gauging something, the slow progress of something. Little by little. Widening something. Even something growing. Because I'm thinking of like gauges. When you gauge like your ear, it's a slow process. Because you don't want to rip it. You don't want to just... You want to go slowly. You want to make sure you're putting on your lotions and your creams and or balm, like whatever you have, just to make sure it doesn't rip. I actually have this one gauge just like slightly right there. Oh, I don't have earrings on this side. I meant to put my earrings in, but I have like that one gauged just a little bit. And then this one gauged right here through the center of my ear. Yeah, but gauging something little by little so it doesn't rip. Tending something. Doing the appropriate... Taking the appropriate measures on something. Understanding it, something might take time. Maybe the bridge of this emotion and intellect. Whatever these two things are representing to you. Allowing it to take the necessary time. Look at it like an ear being gauged. It's going to be a process that widens slowly. There's care that needs to be taken. Like maintenance. Okay. Sorry guys, it's warm in here again today. All right. And then Siren sitting underneath this Ace of Cups. So we're going to flesh this out to see like really what this represents, because I have 4 different energies in my thing that are very much the same thing, but different. And so depending on which one comes out is greatly going to color the message and kind of like helps me understand what this is deeper about. So 4, I'm just going to explain to you so you understand where I'm coming from. I have 1 that's the mermaid, 1 that's the siren, 1 that is the mermaid over the siren, and then one that is the siren over the mermaid. So mermaid to me is like Ariel energy, like it's more pure-hearted mermaid energy, very much like discovery, playful, innocence. And then the other one is more seductive, sexual, enticing, drawing in. And so when we have mermaid over the siren, that simply means that like mermaid energy is more necessary here than the siren energy. Or if we have siren over mermaid, it just means there's a deeper need for like the siren, maybe more seductive, luring in energy over the mermaid. And then obviously the mermaid is just like, has its own message. But we have siren right here. Not one over the other, just siren. So, which makes me feel like this is going to be different for a lot of people. And it's sitting here with this Ace of Cups. That's very much an emotional energy, intense. It's a water dragon. So we're going to see what that might be about, because siren energy can be quite a toxic energy, but it can also be quite a beautiful energy depending on how it's being used. So we'll just kind of look at this since we just have the siren right here. Okay, then we have workaholics. My goodness, sorry guys, like I am really starting to burn up. Let me see if I turn this off. Does that change anything? Just kind of work like this. Okay, so workaholics with the Two of Cups. So I put this in here because it's a show that I used to love to watch, but I'm not really getting anything about the show. I'm feeling more about like workaholic intensity, because we have two horses here, which are, you know, when you think about like pulling a wagon, farming, you have horses or some kind of cattle like doing that work. And that's just what this reminds me of, like a workhorse, a powerhouse, working towards something, pulling the weight, travel. Even think of like a wagon. Workaholics, working towards something. Two horses, two partners, two people who have a dream, an objective. This can very much be romantic for some people, but it can also just be something completely different for other people. It can just simply mean like where two people are coming together emotionally on something, or agreeing on something, meeting on something. Like even with an art project, like two people having like two different like art mediums that they're really good at, coming together to create something new. They both have like a dream, a vision of something, and they're working together on it. In the Scorpio reading, I believe Nancy Drew came out underneath this, which is very much like working together with other people to find something, to discover something. Yeah, to work. And we have workaholics. But workaholics. Even working on a partnership, understanding what it takes to make something happen within partnerships, whatever kind of partnership this is for you. Okay, then we have witch under this, and I actually said witches. I didn't mean to say that because we just have witch right here, but witches. A group of witches, a group of magical people, magic, manifestation, focus. In the Scorpio reading, I mentioned this feeling like a pack of wolves, a pack of like even tarot readers hunting something down, like something working together. We have witch underneath this, which that's kind of what that sounds like. Might just be for one person, but that's what that feels like. Understanding how to find answers in a magical way. Like this, you could say this is like witchcraft. You know, it's just a very simple form of like getting answers, divination. Just like prayer is. Like, you know, you can see ritual is very witchy, yet a lot of religions practice it because it originated from pagan, just, you know, pagan. I have a lot of other stuff connected to this. I'm just trying to determine what is necessary to say here. Like, just, yeah. Okay. All right, so gauges, expanding something. You could even say like enhancing your look, if that is something that maybe might be interesting. If you don't have any gauges, or if you're wanting to gauge your ears, that might be something that would be fun to experiment with. Oh, hold on. All right, guys, sorry. So we were talking about gauges. Adding maybe some more creativity to your looks even might, or even bring in a level of like intelligence into your looks, your alchemy. Say like this is alchemy, very much so. Like these are just symbolic to me in my own life. Normally I have stuff going on over here as well, but I don't today. Gauges. This one's missing. That might be something to think about. Interesting. Yeah, I never forget to put my earrings in, and I forgot to put these in today. I got this whole side done. Look at that. I forgot to put these in. This one and this one. Very interesting. Okay, so emotion and intellect. Maybe one is symbolic right here, because we have two different things. One's missing, and one's here. And right here, we have this here. This is here. This energy is here. But this energy right here, whatever this is symbolizing, intellect, is not. It's missing. Maybe, we'll see. That's very just interesting how that just happened. Yeah, because that dragon is literally sitting right here. And that's the Ace of Water. That's the emotion. That's the siren energy that's sitting here. So the siren energy is here. So where's the intellectual energy? Where's the balance? Where's the balance? Okay. Okay. Gauging something. Yeah, this is going to be very different for whoever is watching this, because this feels like it could be a very toxic energy, like drawing people in. Yeah. It might not, like that just might be a very simple message for someone else. We're going to keep looking at this. but there looks like there's definitely a need for something. Look at that, it's missing. These are missing right here. There's a need for something. Something's forgotten. That is necessary for balance here. For justice, even. Okay. And then we have workaholics with this Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups energy, if we're just talking about like relationships, even romantic, let's focus in on that for a minute. So romantic relationships, normally in a lot of traditional tarot, it's the one person bringing their cup to the other person who's bringing their cup, and they're kind of like meeting in the middle with their two cups. Like, bring in, and we have the Ace of Cups, which means the cup that you're holding. Okay, so two cups coming together, or wanting to bring your cup forward, or wanting someone else's cup. Bringing it together, understanding what's in the cups, understanding what you're bringing forward and what they're bringing forward. That's another thing I brought up in the Scorpio reading, is understanding what's in your cup. You know, when you look at someone else and you're like, I want what's in their cup, and you're bringing them your cup, what's in your cup? Like, that's also a very necessary thing to understand. Like, is your cup desirable? Is that also worth, like, you know, handing over? Is it something that they're going to want? Is there like that equal emotional give and take? Siren energy can be quite toxic, can literally lure people in with a kind of almost like deceptive quality, believing that they're going to get something else and then swallow them whole or drown them. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to see what this is. I don't want to assume anything here. It could be something very different. It could even be something going on outside of you. So we're just going to look at that. But workaholics here with the Two of Cups. Workaholics. Understanding what you're willing to work for in a relationship. What you're willing to do for another person. It's your work that you're putting in for something else that you love. Working as a unit, not just one person taking the full weight of something. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, if you're talking about, like, even back in the day, two horses pulling a wagon, you need both of them to pull that wagon, especially if there's a lot you're carrying. It's not going to work with just one person or one horse. It's going to take both. What are you willing to do for another person? What are you willing to carry? What are you willing to work on? This could be just like something completely different. Could be like an emotional project. I just heard exam. I don't think you can work together on an exam, but maybe you can. Helping prepare someone for an exam. Interesting. But what are you willing to do? What are you willing to put in for love? It just also reminds me of like when like even just a married couple who has children, and just knowing like this person has had a hard day and there's like a mess, and just even just showing up for them. Like normally they would be the one like cleaning it up or whatever, but showing up and just going ahead and doing that, that's an act of love. That's something that's not necessarily for you to do, but it's showing up for them. And it can just like, you know, create deeper love, trust, feeling cared for, feeling like they're worthy of being cared for. Yeah, what are you willing to do for love? Or whatever this is. Okay. And then the Seven of Wands here with Witch. Focus, intention. Seeing a vision, seeing the focus of something, like you could even say as simple or as primal as like a wolf pack hunting down a meal. Knowing how they're going to get it, how they're going to hunt it down, what they've got to do, the strategy. That's literally intention and focus plus action. That's manifestation. That's vision boards. Can be just simple things like adding stuff into your life. I believe Taurus, I was just talking to Taurus about this, how to merge things into their life, how to almost create like fake versions of it in their reality, making space for it, seeing it every day. And we were talking about food insecurity. Food security, like knowing what your family deserves and what you need to do to make that happen. Very interesting. Leadership. This is what's going to happen. Standing your ground. Going through with something. Yeah, following through. Okay. So what is this siren energy about right here? I just don't like that siren is sitting here without like this balance, whatever this is. This is actually a very important card in a process of mine, my Solve and Coagula process. It's part of the solvent energy, the creation of a solvent being given out and poured forth to another person, having intellectual knowledge and knowing how to emotionally pour it forward. That was how it was shown to me for relationships in my life. But that's not siren energy. That's very much knowing what someone needs, knowing what a partner needs, and knowing how to pour it forward. Knowing how to get them the worm. Like, if I gave this to another reading, like, even like thinking about a mother and a father bird, and the mother sitting on the nest, incubating the eggs, like a hornbill, one of my favorite birds. She literally puts herself into a tree, seals it up, and just like has this tiny little crack, and is 100% reliant on her partner, the daddy, to go get the worms, her berries, everything that she needs to provide for the nest. That, to me, is that process. Like being inspired to be able to go and get those berries for your partner. Feeling loved. Like, what's going to make me go out and just do everything possible to get what you need? And mine came through in a very intellectual way, the King of Swords. That's very much my solvent energy. What do I need to hunt down, to pour forward, to mix, to provide for my partner? What do they need? That's very much part of that process. And the coagulation is very different. It's pouring it forward. You could even say like bringing the food and the mama bird eating the food, and it provides sustenance for her body to take care of the chicks and then feeding them as well. That's the coagulation. Why is siren here? So the solvent, so is this a solvent and you're waiting for the coagulation of something from a partner? Or you're in this position to coagulate something? Because right here, you could say this is the exact energy of the solve and the coagula together, working together. And right here, since this is connected to my solvent energy, now it's time for the coagulation. Whatever this is about. And so siren, so why would that be part of the solvent? So siren is part of the solvent. Drawing something in. Working together, a unit, a force. Understanding it's a process. Gauging, like an ear, is a process. A slow process. But it gets there. Slowly, little by little, you get your result. Like a nesting pair, you know, like the chicks aren't just laid, or, you know, the whole process just doesn't happen in a day. It takes months, this whole process. So siren. Siren acting as a solvent, drawing the partner in, but not just drawing them in and then drowning them, having a reason. Coagulation. Maybe even just being very supportive of whatever this is about. Patient. If this is like even about an art project, understanding it's going to be a process every day, one step at a time, little by little, you're going to get the results that you need. It's going to be symbolic, like an ear being gauged. It's going to create the coagulation. Or this process, because this is a working process. This is the whole process going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Solvent being created into the coagulation being poured forward, feeding the solvent, like nourishing, inspiring. This is with intellect as well. This is Gemini. This could literally be very much kind of similar to mine with intellect and emotion working, well, yeah, working together. I'm an Aquarius sun, so that's, you know, important part of my life. It feels beautiful. It just feels like there's some kind of balance here. Because siren energy, I just don't like siren energy like alone right here. But then we all of a sudden have this Two of Cups, which just means it's like a working force. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Workaholics, what are you willing to do? Leadership, knowing what you need to do and acting on it, going forward, putting in the work, setting the intentions. Eye on the prize. I heard that just as I was looking at his eyes. Eye on the prize, whatever that means. Grounding it. Understanding how you're going to get it. Understanding, bringing it down from the imagination, down from the airy parts of the mind, into the ground. Yeah, we have no earth energy at all here. Literally the only like earthy energy sitting here, which is a water card, but they're the horses with the workaholic, which workaholics can very much be a very earth energy. Work, how you get your resources, tending the fields, the land. How are you going to get it into this energy? Or understanding the importance of that energy. Is that it? I feel like I've workaholics, which yeah, I think I'm done. There's nothing else popping out to me right now. Just being very centered. How are you going to bring this, whatever this is, it just feels like it needs some deeper balance. A deeper in reality understanding, like just a deeper grounding, like earth being tilled. Yeah. All right, Gemini. I hope you found some questions to ask in your own life, some answers, and some alchemy, and I wish you well.